Oregon's forests have long been a foundation of the state's economy, environment, and identity. But how we manage those forests has evolved over time. This video explores the Oregon Forest Practices Act, its history, how it works, and why it matters. With the arrival of settlers by way of the Oregon Trail in the mid-1800s, Oregon's vast timber resources began to be seen through a commercial lens. The gold rush in California and the growth of towns along the West Coast created demand for lumber, launching Oregon's logging boom. Sawmills sprang up in the Willamette Valley and along the Columbia River, powered first by water and then steam. By the early 1900s, railroads and logging technology advanced, opening up Oregon's dense forests, especially the massive old-growth timber stands in the Coast Range and the Cascades. However, this era also brought large-scale clear-cutting and limited reforestation. Forest fires had become a serious concern. The devastating Tillamook burn of 1933 and subsequent fires through the 1950s highlighted the urgent need for better forest management. These fires burned hundreds of thousands of acres and helped galvanize a reforestation movement. The Great Depression led to the formation of the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, which provided jobs and helped plant trees, build trails, and reduce fire risks. Around this time, the U.S. Forest Service and the Oregon State Board of Forestry began to regulate logging more seriously, introducing policies on replanting and sustainable yield. In 1941, the Oregon Forest Conservation Act was passed with the realization that old-growth timber was a finite resource. The forestry community began to look ahead to the end of old-growth logging on private forests and decided that new forests should be established for the future. The Conservation Act was a timely and important step toward forest protection, though it fell short of providing a comprehensive reforestation strategy. In the mid-20th century, Oregon's timber industry was booming, but so were public concerns. Clear-cutting, erosion, and polluted streams triggered a rising call for regulation, echoing the national environmental movement of the 1960s. In 1971, Oregon passed the nation's first comprehensive set of laws regulating forest practices. The Oregon Forest Practices Act, or FPA, set standards for all commercial activities involving the establishment, management, or harvesting of trees on Oregon's non-federal forest lands. The FPA balanced environmental protection with timber production, setting a precedent other states would follow. Over the decades, the FPA has evolved. Oregon has adopted additional rules that help protect forests, water quality, fish, and wildlife habitat. Here are just a few of the significant changes. June 1972 created the Act's first rules on tree replanting, road construction, and stream protection. June 1978 enhanced water quality protection rules to, at minimum, comply with the Federal Clean Water Act. September 1978 increased restrictions on the use of herbicides. September 1983 improved road construction and harvest rules to address landslide risk and better protect watersheds after 1981 and 82 storm damage. Early 1990s expanded rule coverage for wildlife species and sites. September 1994 upgraded tree retention rules and water body classifications to protect streams. October 2003, enhanced rules related to erosion and landslides to improve public safety. July 2017, increased buffers around many salmon, steelhead, and bull trout streams after the RIP stream study. The Oregon Forest Practices Act and its rules have been changed many times in response to new scientific findings and evolving public needs and interests. In 2022, the Private Forest Accord, a landmark agreement between the timber industry and environmental groups, led to new rules protecting fish and wildlife on private forest lands while supporting sustainable logging. That year, Oregon legislature passed Senate Bills 1501 and 1502, updating the Forest Practices Act and requiring the Accord's recommendations be adopted into state rules. The legislation also directs the state to develop a habitat conservation plan and seek incidental take permits to protect threatened species and provide regulatory certainty for landowners. The Oregon Forest Practices Act, first passed by the state legislature in 1971, serves as the foundational legal authority for forest management in Oregon. The Oregon Board of Forestry, a citizen board appointed by the governor, is authorized to create and periodically update detailed rules based on the act, incorporating scientific information and stakeholder input. Oregon Department of Forestry is responsible for administering and enforcing the FPA and the forest practice rules. ODF works with landowners and operators to help them comply with the requirements of the FPA. The key elements of the framework include harvesting, setting standards for timber harvesting to maintain productivity, minimize environmental impacts, and protect habitat. Reforestation, requiring replanting after harvesting and ensuring the successful establishment of new forests. Forest roads, providing guidelines for the construction, reconstruction, and maintenance of forest roads to prevent sediment from entering streams and allow for fish passage. Water protection, establishing rules, including stream buffers, to protect water sources and fish and wildlife habitat. Chemical application, regulating the use of pesticides and fertilizers to protect water quality and other natural resources. Wildlife protection, specifying measures to protect sensitive wildlife sites and species, such as leaving standing trees or snags for habitat. Enforcement, addressing violations of the Forest Practices Act through investigations, corrective actions, and civil penalties when necessary to ensure accountability and protect forest, water, and wildlife resources. Compliance monitoring, reviewing the effectiveness of the Forest Practices Act through monitoring and research to inform regulatory improvements, support education and training, assess protection of natural resources, and evaluate compliance with FPA laws, rules, and strategies. Adaptive management. The FPA framework is designed to be dynamic and evolve over time. The Adaptive Management Program Committee and the Independent Research and Science Team provide recommendations to the Board of Forestry based on new scientific data, improved understanding of forest ecosystems, and changes in forest management practices. The Oregon Forest Practices Act is more than a set of rules. It's a living framework shaped by science, experience, and collaboration. It's a model for how forestry can meet the needs of today without compromising the forests of tomorrow.